Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because, well, I'm often seen with a guitar. They call me on the phone. They ask me, they say, hey, man, what's your show about? Hang on a second. And I say, well, it's about an hour. Oh, hey. And it's about guitar players, guitar playing, and all things guitaristic. So here's the deal. If you want to call me on the phone, ask me a question about how to play the guitar, the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you? Call. Want to talk about some related topic like the sitar, the citole, lute, oud, vihuela, citern, mandolins, mandoras, mandolas, mandobasses, mandocellos. If you want to talk about, did I say banjos, balalaikas, bazookies? I forget. Bajos sextos, tiples, cavaquinhos, anything you could pluck on. Banjolales. I like banjolales. I'm funny that way. I'll have you know I want to do a banjolele duet with Banjo Dave. We're sort of planning on it. We're going to do Wabash Cannonball for banjolele duet. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. If you want to talk about something else like trombones, trombamarinas, clarinets, clavinets, drum horns, cornettos. If you want to talk about dungaroos, didgeridoos, clavichords, the djembes, recorders, sure, recorders, penny whistles, blockflöte, Anyway, if you want to talk about pipe organs, piccolos, accordions, ocarinas, tin whistles, clay whistles, penny whistles, harmonicas, harmoniums. We could run down. You know how many instruments there are we could talk about? We want to talk about politics, world events, your own personality problems. That's fine too, but keep it clean. This is a family show. All right. So I've been fooling around with these guitars, and I'm always trying to find a better sound and trying to make things sound the way I want them to. And I'm just never quite satisfied, or I get something that goes really well for a while, and then something happens, like the amp wears out, or the guitar. I have a guitar that's split. I have another guitar that's collapsing. It's like it plays sharp up the neck. See? So I'm trying to, I have this other guitar I'm going to play in a minute here. This Godin ACS electric classical guitar, but I'm always looking for a sound, And it might be annoying, but, as the poet said, Bob Dylan, he who is not busy being born is busy dying. So, anyway, what was I doing? I was doing this before. Sorry, I just noticed this microphone that's on the amp. You get that sinking feeling when the mic stand starts to sink. Anyway. So another thing I did differently is I have a an RC30, the Boss RC30 loop station. On this show now, I have brought a Boomerang. That's in the old days. And a Boomerang Plus, which is an improvement, a Boss RC20 from like 12 years ago, and then which I brought on the show just a couple weeks ago. Actually, I watched that show. I was going through my old loops because you can store loops on your looper, And mainly I bring the RC2, which is a little looper, and now I've got the RC30, which I don't really know how to use very well, but I've made some peace with it. Fun thing about it is you can store 99 loops on it, so it has like a 3-hour memory. The funny thing about loopers in general is I don't need them for the same purpose as other people do. There are certain things people do. There's like the beatboxer type people who do a lot of layered loopings, and I don't layer that much. I overdub sometimes, but I don't layer that many things. The other thing that does it is since it stores so much, it stores 3 hours worth of music. I left the price tag on, by the way. It's like $299. Anyway, it's you can make your loops at home, or you can download them, and you have like karaoke, kind of a karaoke thing. So basically, you push the button and record something, and and there it is. You see, look, Mono Hands. Now there we go. I've erased that, but so at home, like first thing this morning, first thing in the morning for me was about 11 o'clock. I stayed up till 5 reading again. I can't help myself, but I'm told that I have bags under my eyes. If we ever go to high definition on this show, I'm in big trouble. I'll have to wear makeup. We'll smear Vaseline all over the lens, or I've actually heard that shooting through like stockings or like pantyhose, whatever, a mesh that blurs out things better. But anyway, so I have the one I made this morning, which I kind of like. It's this. That was number 99 on my. Did I get a call? Is that what Phil was telling me? Okay. Let's see if I get this phone turned around here. We'll see what we have. Hello, you're on Tom's Guitar Show.
Hi, Tom. It's Bob.
Hey, Bob. How are you doing?
Okay, we're up in Kirkland, Washington tonight.
Really? Well, how are things up there?
Oh, it's raining like you'd expect.
Yeah.
That's a suburb of Seattle.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good thing. That's normal anyway. I saw something about how it was going to drop like 20 degrees Celsius or centigrade in like parts of England. It was going to snow, even though it was like really warm like 2 days ago or something. But anyway.
Yeah, we came through, well, kind of like that. We left Las Vegas Sunday in sunshine. It was almost as warm there as it was in Des Moines. I think it was like 76 in Las Vegas, 80 in Des Moines that day. Anyway, the next day we were up in the mountains in Utah, and it was like 33 and snowing.
And there you go.
And we came through the passes in Washington yesterday, and there's snowdrifts piled alongside the road taller than the car.
Uh-huh. Well, but I think that's normal, though, there, so, I mean.
Yeah, I think it is, too.
It's just like today it's been sunny and 80 degrees, and all the flowers are blooming, and the birds are singing and everything. It's like, it's like June.
It's about 50 and rainy here.
Well, that's good. That sounds about right. Actually, it should be more like 40 something in rain. Well, it's fine. It's great. That's great. So how do you like it over there?
Oh, it's nice enough here. We've been here before. My daughter's lived here. How long you lived here? Yeah, she's lived here 11 or 12 years now. So we've been here a few times before.
Yeah. I'll have you know they've got a new graphic. They have a picture of you up on the screen.
Yeah, I see that. You're online this week.
Oh, okay, good. Well, everything's working. That's good.
When I first tuned in, it was the same problem I'd been having. It was just color bars and offline, but then you came on, so now I see you. And my grandson's over here taking a look at you.
Well,
He wandered off. Short attention span. It has the attention span of a 2-year-old.
I see. He's 2, though, right?
Yeah, well, not quite. 22 months, my daughter says.
That's close enough, but actually 2 months makes kind of a difference, you know. For you or me, it might not make that much difference, but when you're that young, you know.
At his age, 2 months is a big deal.
Yeah.
At our age, 2 years isn't that big a deal.
Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but I mean, like I'm going to play a different guitar here in a minute, and I don't remember how long I've had it. It doesn't seem like that long, but I think I must have gotten it in like the late 90s. So it might be 14 years old, or maybe 15, I don't know. It's at least 12. So, anyway. But there's a song about how the years keep flying by like the High Line poles.
Yeah.
I guess it's a trucker song or something, you know. But, so you left Vegas, anything, I guess you live a pretty tame life as far as Las Vegas is concerned. I mean, like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas probably doesn't apply to you quite so much as other people, maybe?
Yeah, not quite so much. Well, yeah, I sent you some links. I put some stuff on YouTube while I was out there.
Yeah, you should check out your YouTube channel. I haven't looked at your YouTube channel in a long time. You have a personal one, right?
Yeah, BWTV 147.
WTP 147. Okay, well, if I forget, I'll have to watch this show, and then I can.
Yeah, the latest one I put up wouldn't do on time. I did some promos for PATV. The most recent one wouldn't play on a family-friendly show like Tom's. But
oh, really?
Can you repeat his YouTube, Addy?
Skopinski wants you to repeat your YouTube account address.
Okay, well, it's BW like Bob Wiley.
Bob Wiley,
TV like television, 147.
So BW, what is the next part?
TV.
TV.
Like television.
Uh-huh.
And 147.
BWTV 147. Okay.
That's it.
All right. So you tried a little bit of that Sin that they have there in Sin City? Or?
Yeah, I got a little bit of that.
Yeah, all right, well.
And a dummy that doesn't watch PATV, and Mr. Spock telling us how logical PATV is.
Really?
I'm going to redo the sound on them. They've all got quite a bit of background noise, so I think I'm going to overdub them. But
you talking to Mr. Spock? So when are you coming back here?
Well, we should be back. I'm thinking next Tuesday. I won't make the show, I don't think, but we'll probably be back home by next Tuesday. So I'll probably make the show again the week after next.
Okay. Well, I've been saving up stuff for you to read, you know, and we might. I'm thinking I'd like to put a podium up. We have a couple of podiums here, and the guy, you know, Craig, who reads sometimes, to have him on like the regular show sometimes, and have you come up and just, you know, put a. We have two podiums now, and so, you know.
So you can do dueling podiums.
Well, maybe not dueling, they don't match, and that's, you know, but the you know, just to you know, have somebody come up to the podium and read stuff, and so I keep thinking about Bullwinkle's Corner for some reason. I don't know why. I haven't watched Rocky and Bullwinkle for quite a while, but there's this thing where Bullwinkle's Corner, he gets up to a lectern or something.
I can always play Mr. Know-It-All. Oh, kids, I'm Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right. That's the one. Yeah. But I'd like to pattern my show more after Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was thinking about Pee Wee Herman for a while, but I don't know. Probably not. But
yeah, I'll get my daughter to come over here and say, now here's something you'll really like.
That's right. There we go. Yeah, I saw an interview with the two people that did most of the voiceovers, most of the voice acting. And there was a woman who played Rocky the Flying Squirrel and Sherman, I think, and she played, of course, Natasha. And they're all these like old crones, like these old witches and fairy godmothers and stuff. She played all those parts, and there was a guy who played Bullwinkle, and he played Mr. Peabody. I don't know if he did Dudley Do-Right, but anyway. Anyway, I had to go home and watch some Bullwinkle. I had a 3 DVD set actually. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas one year, I think.
So did you bring the banjo in this week?
I didn't. I was going to, but I've been working on it. Like everybody's doing a Earl Scruggs tribute, and And I've been watching something. This is something I was going to discuss in the show later. There's going to be a La Guitarra concert of 3 women guitarists. I can't remember who the other 2 are off the top of my head, but the one's Muriel Anderson, and she's basically she's about my age, and she's a classical guitarist gone astray. And I think I met her at some guitar festival a long time ago, back when we were both like 20 something, I guess, and she did Foggy Mountain Breakdown, but on a classical guitar. And it was kind of interesting to me, and I wanted to bring a banjo, but I have 2 guitars with me, and I'm working on something else, and I just like, maybe I'll wait a week, because I don't want to just like, because I don't have a really great version of Foggy Mountain Breakdown. I have kind of the one that I teach banjo students. So, I don't know, I thought about it, and in fact, when you get back, we should talk about Earl Scruggs a little bit. You can bring your laptop or whatever. I was reading about him in some of his eulogies, and the one thing that I didn't really realize to the extent was that he played with everybody. And there's a story about how he, Lester Flatt, got tired of playing with him because he would play with anybody, including like long-haired hippie freaks, like 60s.
That's one of the big reasons they split up. Was Lester Flatt wanted to do traditional bluegrass all the time, and Earl Scruggs wanted to experiment and do other forms of music.
Right. And they split up, and Flatt did his thing, and then Scruggs, he played with everybody, Elton John, Bob Dylan, anybody, long-haired hippie freaks, and
comic jugglers. He and Steve Martin did a couple albums.
Yeah, I guess that's right. He did. I haven't seen the Steve Martin eulogy. I think he made a video or something. It's so much happens all the time that I have trouble keeping up.
Yeah.
But
well, when you get our age, you can't keep up with everything.
That's right. So I think I would like to do more about Earl Scruggs, but I don't necessarily want to do it just like quick and dirty this week. So I agonized over that for at least 5 minutes before I left the house. At one point, I was going to bring 2 guitars, a bass guitar, and a banjo with me, and I settled for 2 guitars. But anyway, you should when you get take care of yourself. You come back, and we'll do more Tom's Guitar Show. Try to do it bigger and better. Did you ever see the one we did last week?
No. I wasn't where I could get to the internet when you were on last week.
It's right on the tomsguitarshow.com on the front page there.
Oh, you got a recording of it on your website?
Yeah, YouTube video.
That's tomsguitarshow.com, right?
Yeah, if you have trouble falling asleep tonight or something like that, you can put that on and that'll do it for you. But we had a good time with the string band. It was pretty fun. We talked about instrument hoarding, and Craig read a little piece he wrote about Mr. P, the piccolo freak, who hoards piccolos and tries to hide it from his wife and stuff. And it was pretty good. I think you'd like that. But anyway, so you hurry on back, or drive the speed limit, But
yeah,
you gonna take the northern route? You gonna go I-80, I-90? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, we'll come over I-90. Over 35, and then we want to drop down to Des Moines. My son lives down in Ankeny. We're going to stop and see him on the way home if we come through at a decent hour. Last year it was like midnight when we came through Des Moines, so we missed my son. We'll try and see him this year.
I get you. Isn't it? I went on I-90 one year. I think it was Painted Rock Canyon, maybe in North Dakota, or am I wrong? There was a beautiful canyon up there that it's not well known somewhere. Painted Rock Canyon, I remember. I don't
know. The name sounds familiar, but I can't think where it is right off.
I think it's North Dakota, but I played this gig in Des Moines, and then I had to go and talk to an instrument builder in Minneapolis, and then I had to be in Seattle.
When we come across South Dakota.
Is it South Dakota?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 90 runs west through Sioux Falls and.
Oh yeah, how about maybe it's 94.
Mitchell and.
I think 94 maybe or something, maybe farther north.
Yeah, I haven't taken that one.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, I'll be out of your way then, but you know.
Yeah, I'll clear off here and let you play some guitar.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
So long.
Well, the other thing I did with this guitar is I put the flat wound chrome strings on it. I put these other strings on, well, heavier gauge than what it came with a wound third string for all you guitar nerds out there, and it just wasn't sounding very good to me. So I put these jazz guitar strings on. Now it sounds like a jazz guitar to me. Of course, I have it going through this little Digitech reverb pedal, and it's going into a little acoustic guitar amp. So, but these are very smooth. You know. So this is basically the sound I tweaked up today. I fooled around with the amplifiers and strings and effects. I want a nice big smooth sound. A little bass on it too. But I have another guitar, so hang on, I'm going to turn this down. And I'm going to unplug this and put it in my pocket. Let's see if I can get me a different guitar. Oh, where's my strap? I had another strap. There it is. So this is an older Godin ACS. And I have two of these. I have a blue one, which I used last week. They had what was the show called? I was in a show last week where we landed on the moon. And I played the part of the man on the moon. And I played my guitar synthesizer, and I didn't plug it into the natural guitar sound at all. I didn't do any natural guitars, all synthesized. And it was a guitar very much like this, a couple of years younger than this one is. And, going through the Roland GR33 guitar synthesizer. Now this one, hang on, let me turn it up a little bit here. This is an electric classical guitar. It's probably a little out of tune. Hang on a second here. And the thing about it is that this one has two inputs. It has a regular 1/4 inch and a 13-pin GK whatever cable that goes into the synthesizer. And those 13-pin jacks are very sensitive, and I broke it years ago. Actually, I broke both of them, but I got the blue guitar fixed. So my blue Godin ACS, the slightly newer one, is a guitar synthesizer and a regular electric guitar. But this one is just going to be electric classical guitar. Boy, they're loud too. They're really hot.
Especially after that smooth jazz guitar we were just hearing.
I went on the Godin website and I had a bunch of videos, and there was a flamenco guitar player from California, and he was extolling the virtues of an amplifier that Godin, this company is from French Canada, Robert Godin. They have a funny accent up there, so like Robert Godin, but his Godin is his name, Godin, and it's a, so he has a newer version of this, and he also was, but it was actually like a little thing about how much he loved the amplifier that they sell to go with this guitar. But the guy was playing flamenco on one. The thing about it is like, I have an amplifier right in front of me, and I'm not getting any feedback. with my Gypsy Kings guitar, which is folding up and no longer playable. I would get terrible feedback. But this thing's like a solid plank of wood, see? With strings on it, nylon strings. So it's an electric classical guitar. Yeah, hang on a second. Oops, I wrote, okay. I just saved that one. You have to push the right button a couple times. The one that's, not the one on the right, but the one that says W-R-I-T-E, right, as opposed to the delete button, which I'm going to have to push next because, okay, everybody brace yourself. Let's see what this sounds like. That's too loud. The guitar, the pedal comes with a bunch of backing tracks, and I'm going to delete that one. Okay, it's deleted. All right. So, all right. So I kind of like that. The last one that I played, it sounded pretty good to me, I guess. And so I'm gonna, maybe take it home and fool around with it some more. It's like I recorded it. Actually, what I did was I was gonna play a different loop, but I said I just played that one like 2 weeks ago on the show. So I started changing the chord progression a little bit as I went, and then I invented a new, a slightly different chord progression from what I usually use. So what I did with that is I saved it now, and next time I use the pedal, I can jam on top of it or something, or I can take it home and write it out, like I have with other ones. So I've got maybe 4 loops saved on this machine so far. But the one thing you can do with a looper like this is you can record a bunch of stuff in advance, or you can even download other backing tracks, which is fine. But then it's like karaoke, and so it's a fine distinction. I don't know if anybody even cares, but to me, if I live loop, I want to make up the loop, or record the loop while I'm there in front of people, as opposed to just playing on top of some pre-existing loop, because you can buy loops, or you can download them from the interwebs, and just jam on top of them. In fact, you could just download the whole loop on the thing and not even have your guitar turned on and just like pretend. But that'd be an extreme thing. I've got nothing against people who want to play along with things. I was watching was it Robert Fripp, famous guitar player, who experimented with a lot of these technologies, and there was a video demonstration of him probably on British television years and years ago using Les Paul, but he had come up with a very unique sounding tone. This very, something that we all take for granted now. Some long sustained things sound almost like a cello, and he was playing along with a tape, real tape. And that's how they used to do it. So, but for some reason, I balk at the idea of playing with something pre-recorded. I want to record it live while I'm there. And, I use the same device as people who record everything in advance. But anyway, it was boring. If anybody was still watching, they'd probably change the channel. I'm trying to explain my take on musicianship. a second. I made a mistake. I haven't quite learned how to use this darn thing yet, so I'm still working on my new looper. It looks very much like my my old looper, but has a completely different like operating thing with the buttons and the the foot switches. It's different. But it's stereo and has a huge memory. My original Boomerang had about a minute of memory on it, which was amazing because in those days you could get like 8 seconds off a delay pedal of memory. So you could do like an 8-second loop. And the Boomerang would do a whole minute. And a minute's like a long time. You could do like a whole 2 verses and a chorus in a minute, But now memory is cheap, you see, because times change. Hey, I was talking to Bob on the phone earlier, like we're a couple old timers, talking about, well, when I was a boy. Anyway. When I was a boy, memory was in your head. I don't know. I still don't have the looper of my dreams, I guess, but I suppose if I wait around long enough, somebody will, the one I have now will be obsolete. Actually, the show that I was in the other day, on Thursday, I think it was, when we did a trip to the moon and I played the part of the man on the moon with the blue guitar, the guys are there, they're like intermedia people. Like one guy's teaching a course and there are a bunch of students there acting in the show. It's quite a shindig. This place is full of people, like wild, crazy people in costumes. But the guy was going to give away tapes of the show in VHS, just because he can. I mean, there's something funny about it. I mean, I know people like vinyl records. I mean, the idea was a vinyl record has been obsolete now for years, but some people still produce records. In fact, they're making a comeback. People say, "I'm tired of this digital stuff. I want analog." So, but I don't know. VHS tape was never that great, really. But some of the kids out there probably don't even know what VHS tape is. There's also a lo-fi effect on this pedal here, so you can make it sound like a really crummy, low fidelity thing, like a really bad cassette tape or something. And I don't know why you'd want that, because anyway, it's an effect, lo-fi. still not sure if I can find a way to make this thing sound like a classical guitar. On the weekends, I play at the Tuscan Moon in Kelowna. Nice Italian steakhouse in beautiful downtown Kelowna. And I'm booked as a classical guitarist, and really to a great extent I am. By nature I'm I think classical guitar. I play classical guitar at home, but when I need to plug something in, I don't have the classical guitar of my dreams. So I'm trying to make do with this, and I just can't make it sound respectful enough somehow. It sounds too weird, too wide. But one thing that's kind of cool is that on a classical guitar, the body and neck meet at the 12th fret, so it's hard to play any notes higher than this, right? Because this is where the body comes. But this one keeps going up. Goes up to a high C, and have easy access to this note. So it goes, into mandolin territory. So that's really cool. Anyway, I like that. One thing I was going to mention though is I'm going to mention it next week more because I forgot to bring the little flyer or whatever. But I even forgot the date. But later this month, on a Sunday, there's going to be a concert called La Guitarra at CSPS in Cedar Rapids, which is right up the road from us. It features 3 women guitarists, and I guess it's somebody's project, Patty Larkin's project, and it's about where are all the great women guitarists? Well, they've been here all along, which I could have told you. They've been women guitarists, since there have been guitars. In fact, the guitar was considered a women's instrument in the old days. But anyway, so I looked up some of the guitarists. I had looked up Muriel Anderson, and she's a pretty good classical guitarist who's gone astray, not unlike what I did. It's very interesting. I'm thinking I'm going to go if I can find the time. I'm going to go to that concert. But there's a thing about there's some sort of notion that guitars are not a women's instrument. Like women shouldn't play guitar or something like that, which is ridiculous because there have been a lot of really fine women guitarists ever since there have been guitars. So anyway. Actually, I'm almost out of show. I'm going to switch back to the other guitar. I give this one a try. The Godin ACS. It's thin. See, it's really thin. Okay? But this one is even thinner. Hey, look at that. Ah, this thing's like an axe, man. I'll plug this in and see what it does. It's more like a smooth jazz guitar. Actually, just a word to the wise, don't say smooth jazz around anybody, unless really know how they are. Because if you say it around the wrong person, you'll get them very angry and they'll become upset. I think I mentioned this on my Twitter a few weeks ago about what Pat Metheny said about smooth jazz. It was some of the worst music ever conceived by humanity, ever, he said. So, some people just don't like I myself don't want to be considered a jazz guitarist. I think of me as a classical guitarist who went astray. Well, that's it. Be back next week. I always come back.